Hey, this is Ben Morse, and welcome to Rock Theory. Woo, Rock Theory! Imagine Dragons and the recent song Enemy created a musical opportunity they didn't take advantage of. This left me feeling sad and confused because they had this chance to do something wonderful. It's a good song, and they just didn't do the thing. In contrast, in a totally different musical style, Lin-Manuel Miranda used the same musical and harmonic tool in the song We Don't Talk About Bruno in the movie Encanto, and he did it right, I think. What do I mean? Let's start with Enemy. Enemy is like most modern pop songs. It's based on a single chord progression that repeats again and again throughout the song. Each section uses the same chords. What's unusual is the chords they choose. It's an unusual pair of chords, G and F sharp. So why is that unusual? Well, usually if the song is going to be in, say, the key of G, you might want to have a G chord and chords C, E minor, D, A minor, whatever that relate to that chord in a usual way. Chords drawn from the key of G major. But F sharp major has no place in the key of G major. Now, this being pop music, you can do whatever you want to do, and you should do whatever you want to do. But the things with G and F sharp is that it doesn't really define any key very strongly. You're not quite sure where you are. Which, again, might not be a bad thing. But in the song, it creates an opportunity that they don't follow up on, which I will get to, I promise. What's more, the melody isn't based really on a common G or F sharp scale, not G major, F sharp major, G mixolydian, blues, anything else. Instead, it uses the notes G, A sharp, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp. So the A sharp, B doesn't seem to really fit normally in a G major scale. It's like two half steps in a row. But it does fit pretty well as a B minor-ish scale, starting from B, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G, A sharp, B. In that scale, you might use the A or the A sharp, the seventh or the sharp seventh. Traditionally, when going up, you might use the A sharp, maybe like this. And going down, you'd use the A. Whatever it is, it's a nice B minor scale. But the song, although it has this B minor scale, it can't be in B minor, can it? I mean, there's no B minor chord in the song. The song is just G and F sharp. What's that all about? Let's find out. Let's start with the verse. So the verse, again, uses these two chords, G and F sharp. And over the G chord, we hear the notes D and B, which forms, of course, a G major triad. And over the F sharp, we hear the notes C sharp and A sharp, which forms an F sharp major triad. And this is my poor impression of his vocal stylings on a piano. Then it repeats the same notes again. When you hear these chords and this melody, don't you feel like it wants to go somewhere in the pre-chorus, the next section, but it doesn't go there because the song is a modern pop song, as we've said, and like most modern pop songs, it doesn't change chords at any point. I mean, each section is based on the same set of chords. In the pre-chorus, to intensify things, the B from the melody of the verse goes up to a B an octave up, and the D from the melody stays where it is, and it sounds kind of like this. Singing it, so it's more exciting than that, and it's slower. So the G chord is B, A, G, and D in the melody. If you remove the A, which is a passing tone between B and G, you get a nice G major chord, just like the verse had a nice slower G major chord. And the F sharp chord contains the notes melodically F sharp, E, and A sharp, which forms a nice F sharp seventh. And notice towards the end of the melody, it jumps back up to the A sharp, like it's trying to go somewhere new. So you have the G chord, the F sharp chord with the seventh in it. Aren't you just wanting it to go somewhere else? Here was the verse. And pre-chorus, don't you just want it to go somewhere like B minor? wants to go to B minor, doesn't it? At least for me, it really strives to go to B minor, but it doesn't. When I first heard the song, I kept thinking, oh, it's going to go G, F sharp's going to go to B sometime. But it doesn't actually. The chorus, again, has the same G and F sharp chords as the rest of the song, although notice the melody actually outlines the B minor chord. Over the G chord, we have, aside from the E, we have a B, D, and F sharp, which is a B minor chord, and the F sharp chord, it's got a long E, but when that resolves down to D, you've got a D, B over F sharp, which again is notes from the B minor chord. So it never goes to B minor, but it does everything that it can to go to B minor without actually going to B minor. Wouldn't it have been kind of cool if it actually went to B minor? So we have our verse and our pre-chorus and some sort of chorus in B minor. That's kind of a bad version of what the chorus could be, but during the song, I kept hearing the G as a 6 of B minor and the F sharp as a 5 of B minor, and I wanted to hear B minor, but I never did, and I was quite surprised by that. It's a fine song, but it caught me off guard, and I feel like in this song, Imagine Dragons set up an opportunity, a chance to make an expectation that then gets dealt with later on and fulfilled in a pleasing way, but they don't. So in contrast, in a whole different style of music, Lin-Manuel Miranda, in the song We Don't Talk About Bruno from Encanto, uses the same musical tool, but he fulfills the expectation. Harmonically, it begins the same way. It begins with A flat and G chords. Now, they're a half step apart, which is the same as the G and F sharp of Enemy. Different chords, but they're really the same chords transposed up a half step. They're functionally the same thing. A flat and G, a half step apart. The song begins with what I'm going to call the refrain because it contains the words We Don't Talk About Bruno. And when played on a piano, kind of poorly, it sounds like this. There's that A flat chord, the G chord, the A flat chord, the G chord. There's a seventh in the melody, the F. And again, as before, A flat feels like the 6 and the G feels like the 5 of C minor. We can play this in the same style as Enemy. Or maybe we can't. Anyway, here we are, A flat and G. But Lin-Manuel Miranda, perhaps being a musical theater composer and working in styles where more chords happen more often, where there's more variety in the songs, he doesn't just resolve to C minor, he goes to an entire verse-like section in C minor, the duet between Pepe and Felix. And the whole thing is in the key of C minor, the chord we want to resolve to. So it sounds kind of like this, only it's sung, but I'm going to play it on the piano. There it is, a nice satisfying A flat, G, C minor. That's music. Very nice. So the expectation is set up by the introduction. It builds some suspense, and that kicks you into the song. And that first section is a repeated chord progression, but partly because it gains energy from this suspenseful beginning, it remains interesting. Lin-Manuel Miranda also deploys this A flat, G, C minor progression later in the song. He knows we've now been trained to hear A flat and G as leading to C minor, so he can build suspense this way. Sometimes he'll play A flat and G kind of loud, and the band will drop out for a little bit, and you're in suspense till C minor comes back in. For example, in this verse of the song, this duet, there's a bit where Pepe sings, "You telling the story, or am I?" There's a loud A flat G, and then the band kind of drops out, and then C minor comes in quietly. So he uses the A flat G, C minor to set up an expectation, and then he fulfills it again. It builds some more suspense into the song. It builds energy into the song. This happens again and again during the song, but it happens most intensely after Isabella and Dolores' quiet middle section. The section is in E flat major. And he has to get from there back to the beginning of the song to get to the big minute-long ensemble part where everyone sings at the same time, and it's all in a big fat C minor. So how does he do this? He starts playing A flat and G, but not once, but 4 times in a row, and twice as fast as before, intensifying things. Sounds kind of like this. Once, twice, 3 times, which are C minor. And then, wonderfully, instead of going to C minor, he detours to A flat minor 7th, which is totally bizarre. I don't know how he got this chord, where it came from, but this is the point of music and music theory. You should know some theory, but then write according to your intuition and what sounds good. This has the effect of delaying C minor for a little while. I'll talk about this more in my longer article on this, which you can look at once you finish watching the video, or if you're bored of the video right now. But A flat G, and then there's this detour, and then from there you do go C minor. And from this long A flat G thing, 4 times. And then this A flat minor 7th detour. It's so exciting when the song returns. The whole ensemble comes in, everyone sings at the same time, and it's got enough energy to go for a whole minute and end the song. So that's how you use an expectation, how you set up something, and then you fulfill it later on. He sets up a language and a vocabulary, which he then uses to make things happen in the song. So again, they're both fine songs. They're just kind of from different worlds. Enemy is from a kind of a simpler pop world, and Lin-Manuel Miranda's song is kind of like more like pop of like maybe 40 years ago, or musical theater in the pop sense, where there's more chords, there's more sections, and more of a chance to set things up and then work with them during the song. So now, having watched Lin-Manuel Miranda resolve A flat and G so effectively to C minor, we're going to resolve this video. It's done, it's over. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it. If you want to hear more about this topic, about these songs in more detail, check out my blog. I wrote an article that goes into it in lots and lots of detail. Check out more of the blog. My writing also can be found on soundfly.com here and there. And I'm Ben Morse. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.